Hi guys, this is Annie. I hope you all are doing great tonight. And tonight I'm going to do another St. Patrick's manicure for you. So stick around and let's begin. And for this particular manicure, these are the items we will be using. They will also be listed in the description box for you if needed. So starting from my right, I have my roller lint brush, some acetone. My tools are my little wax pencil to pick up some jewels that I have here, some cotton on my cotton claw, my base colors as well as my stamping polish and my top coat. I have 3 stamping plates that I'll be pulling images out of tonight, my scraper, my stamper, and some nail guides. So now that we have everything ready, let's begin. Okay, my love, so as you can see, I have already gone ahead and got started with the manicure, and I needed to do that because the base colors that I use had to be dried completely before we can go stamping. So I first did the base color in more of a nudish color, as you could see, and then I did the white tips on this. And the color that I use is from Wet n Wild Mega Last, and that's number 204B, and it's called Private Viewing. So that's the nude that I've used. And then for the white, I have gone ahead and used my China Glaze white, which is number 023 White on White. Now for the tips, I've actually used some nail guides on this, and I have to show you which design I used. You can't see it here. Let me take it out because I did not use the triangular ones. I actually went in and I used these little guys right here. So they're pointed to the top, but they're actually round. And I really like how that came out, even though it's kind of being concealed in some of the nails. So basically, I put this guide on as much as I wanted to be white, and I went ahead and I painted that in white and waited till that's thoroughly dried, and then I actually applied a layer of my fast drying top coat on there to smoothen that out before I went stamping. So that was the first part. For the second part now, which is the stamping, I will be using my Born Pretty shimmer color stamping polish here, and that's in green. And I am actually using 3 stamping plates tonight because I had to pull some images out that I really like. So the first one we will be using is going to be for the middle finger, and how I did this here is I just pretty much did one of each design and repeated it, so I did this one, I did a different design here, but I repeated this one again here and on the thumb. So I'm going to stick to that. So as I said, I already got a head start, so you don't have to sit there and watch me stamp all these all over. I'm just going to do the 2 to show you how I did the 2 designs. So let's do the easy one first, and that one I pulled out from my Born Pretty plate, and the plate number is number X15. And I took part of the image out here and placed it right in there. So I'll be doing that tonight, and I'll be using my transparent stamper so you can see this. So let's get started on this. Let me just get my cotton and acetone ready, and we'll get stamping. And this is a pretty simple, and I do think it's kind of elegant design for St. Patrick's Days as well. So hopefully you'd like it, and maybe you can try it as well. So here we go. So we have the green. Let me get a nice clean swipe on this. Get my scraping card. And the stamper that I'm using is from Born Pretty. There's the image, nice and clean. And I'll line it up first and then I'll show it to you guys, okay? Let me see if I can actually do it so you can see it before it dries up. So there it is. And it's, like I said, it's a kind of shimmering color like the foil, so it's going to be a little difficult for you to see, but I'll definitely be able to show you in the pictures. And there we go. So it's nice and lined up. And that's the first one in already. Well, I should say the 4th one in, right? Because we're repeating these patterns. So that's there. And then the other image is from my stamping plate from my XY collection. This is a bigger plate here. And I'll be pulling out this little design here. And I'll be placing that with the open top here facing upwards. So let's get that done. And if you want to know where I got these stamping plates, because they really do have really great design, just send me out a little message, because I bought all 3 of them from 3 different sites. So I'll just let you know where I got them. There's that little design, and I'll show you again. We'll put that one here. And I'm actually, if you could see this, I'm actually going to line this side up here with the 2 little images. I'm trying to show you. There we go. So I'm going to line this end up at the end of the nails just to make it look a little neat. And then we'll just go ahead and roll the rest on. So let me do that. It's all lined up really well. And I'm just rolling it on, as you could see here, leaving that top corner free to put the little shamrock. All right, and let's grab the 3rd design, which is the shamrock. And for that one, I will be using my CICI&SISI stamping plate. That's plate number 26. And the shamrock is actually at the bottom here. So you're going to need a tiny piece of tape just to get rid of the unwanted parts. And let's get that little design out. There are the shamrocks, and they came out nice and clean. No breakups on that, which is nice. And I'll just pull the unwanted parts out of the stamper. So there it is, one little tiny shamrock. And again, I am going to put the leaves out and the little stem going in. So let me line it up again, and then I'll show it to you before I go ahead and get the whole image down. And there it is. And of course, I know you can't see it very well. That's because the shimmer polish is really shining here, and also the lighting is very bright tonight, but you will definitely see it much better on the pictures. So let's move along. Now that we're done here, just go in and press down that nail polish. Make sure that anything that's lifted is going to be down on the nail itself. And next thing I'm going to do is actually remove the latex that I'm using, and then we will apply the jewels. So let me grab my little tweezer and remove that latex. And I do recommend you do it now, because to apply the jewels you need to have your fast drying top coat. And you know, if you do that, you have to wait till the top coat is completely dry before you could remove the latex. And the reason for that is because sometimes the latex would drop off all these little pieces of images that's on it. It dries up and it flakes off, and then it's going to go back on the top coat that you're using and get stuck on there and ruin the manicure. So please, if you're using latex or peel of any sort, go ahead and remove it before you apply the top coat and jewels at this point. Okay, and I'm just scraping off the excess pieces of images that I don't want. And I have noticed the nice things about this Born Pretty stamping polish is it really comes off easily if you don't want it from your fingers and the nails. You know, especially if it's stuck on your finger, you don't even have to use acetone and a brush on there. If you don't want to, a piece of Scotch tape takes it right off. It's the only one that I've actually used, and the Scotch tape takes it off. All the other stamping polishes I have, you have to use the acetone to get it off. And at this point, I'm just making sure I have no latex and no nail polish that I want on the nails and fingers, and we're good to go. So now I'll grab my jewels, and I'm using a light green rhinestone on each nail. And for that, I have my little wax pencil to pick up, and I'll be using my fast drying top coat from Out the Door. And we're going to place one jewel at the tip and the other one off to the side, because the other one already have the shamrock showing there. So let me turn them right side up. And really quickly, I know I mentioned this in all my videos, and again I'll mention it tonight. When you're applying the top coat, try not to swipe over the same area twice. You do not want to drag the nail polish from the image that you just applied. And always cap the nails. Make sure that you load your brush with a heaping load of nail polish, because that also helps not to drag the image. If your brush is dry, you tend to press down and that image will be distorted or ruined. So here I go. My brush is nice and loaded, as you can see. I have my jewels ready. I'm going to start from one end and move down. And then this is what I'm doing here. It's called capping the nails. And the reason I do that is it tends to save the nail polish a little longer from wear and tear, from the tips especially going up. And the jewel is going off to the side. And I'm just going to secure it by tapping it down and pressing it down a little. So it's there already, if you could see it. And the next one I'm going to put right at the tip on top. And again, I know it's pretty hard to see it right now, but you will see it on the close-up of the pictures as soon as we're done here. Cap the tips. And my jewel is going right on top here. Now you could go ahead and leave the manicure at this point. I like to go over those jewels again with a nice thick layer of the top coat, and the reason for that is because I like to secure that jewel. I like it to stay in for as long as the manicure lasts. And I have kept jewels on my nails for a very long time by securing it in with a second application of the fast drying top coat. So I do recommend this. If you're planning to have your manicure over 3 or 4 days, go back over it with the top coat and secure that jewel in. It really does stay on. I've had my jewels lasting up to a couple days, well, about 7 days already, by just securing it in properly and locking it in with that top coat. And at this point you see me going over the image twice now, because the first layer of the top coat secured the image in there already, so I can go ahead and just swipe over that now. So that's pretty much it. A very simple manicure. I take a look at the pictures and then I'll be right back after the pictures, guys. Hang in there. Alright, my love, so here it is. This is the finished manicure. I do like this one much better than the other one. I think it's a little more elegant. And again, this is for St. Patrick's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day. And don't forget to subscribe for my upcoming videos, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to write to me. I will answer them as best as I can and as fast as I can. And thank you all so very much for popping by and watching my video tonight. It's much appreciated. And have yourself a good night, everyone. Bye now.